Well, I must say that blip at the start of the season was just that. Luckily for us, it was just a blip. The team has started to click, the new players are coming through, and most importantly, Hugill is starting to bang in the goals. So as you can see from that last game that we saw against Tamworth, where we unfortunately drew 1-1 thanks to a 92nd minute equaliser, we then went away and beat Scunthorpe 1-0, Joe Hugill on the score sheet. We beat Dagenham and Redbridge 1-0 at home. Joe Hugill on the score sheet. We managed to then beat Aldershot Town 2-1. We rotated. We got the loney striker in. He scored 2 himself. Joe Hugill then scored a hat-trick in the 4th qualifying round of the FA Cup. He scored again against FC Halifax. And then we beat Rochdale 2-1 away as well. And again, Joe Hugill getting on the score sheet. So I bring you back for the game against Macclesfield today. I feel like they are just a bit of a rival for us now in our save. And then, like I said, the important game, important because it's our first ever TV coverage game. It's at home in the FA Cup first round. We've got Walsall. Annoyingly, Walsall Stadium, I mean, I don't know why I'm saying that. We're at home anyway, so it doesn't matter. But we're at home against Walsall, so it's a winnable tie. Walsall are currently sitting 11th in Sky Bet League 2. So can we do what we did last season and go on and take the cap of 2 Sky Bet League 2 teams? I think we can. The form's been good again, and we'll have to see what happens. In terms of changes to the starting 11, so Herbie James has come back from injury, and we've also got this new guy that we've brought in, Victor Gromek, a Polish international, 3-star current ability, 4.5-star potential, currently playing at a decent Sky Bet League 2 level with the possibility of becoming a leading Sky Bet League 1 player. As you can see, we've gone back to a 4-2-3-1. We've been sort of tinkering depending on what team we're playing. If we're playing a team that's a little bit lower in the table, I've been playing more of an attacking formation. If it's a team that's sort of around us near the top or sort of higher mid-table positions, I've been dropping Macclesfield and obviously having Murray Holmes alongside him to sort of pack out the midfield. So here's your starting 11 for the game against Macclesfield today. We've got James Wright in goal. A defence of Pennington, Francis, Briggs and Boswell. We've got Victor Gromek and Tate Campbell in midfield. And then we've got James, Macclesfield, Clark and Hugill up front. Really, we just want Hugill to carry on this run of form that he's in. If he can carry on scoring now and carry on the form that he's in, then he will carry us up the league. I did forget to show you what that actually does to the league with the form that we've had, and I will show you momentarily on the live league table. It's quite nice viewing. We're sitting 3rd currently, but I will show you momentarily when we obviously get a break in the highlights. But an early highlight for Macclesfield, playing it around quite nicely, but Boswell does well to cut in. Boswell's been playing quite well at left back. Hugill's here, 1-on-1, and he scores. Come on! They're the chances that we were seeing him miss. At the start of the season, he was skying them over the bar, or just not even working the goalkeeper. Now, he's got some confidence behind him, and he's playing like a true number 9. And that's what we need in this division. If we can have a good player that's going to score us a bucket full of goals, we know we're going to do well, because we know we can still be defensively sound, and we have been getting back into the swing of things. But like I was saying about Boswell being able to play, oh, there we go, and he gets a goal. Boswell being able to play at left back, never mind, it's disallowed. It means that if Killer Ferrari does get poached in the January transfer window, which is probably looking more and more likely now, there are a good handful of clubs now lining up to try and get his signature. So I think we have to probably accept that come January he's going to leave. The whole drama with Swansea, it come out that he was happy to stay and he wasn't then looking to leave as they dropped their interest in him. It doesn't mean that they won't be coming back in January. So I think we've got to almost accept that we're probably going to be losing him. If we lose him, we've got other alternatives that we can have playing in that position. We've got Chris Francis who can play there. Obviously Boswell, we've been playing him a little bit more there, so he can sort of get a bit more fluidity and naturalness in that position, just to be on the safe side. I don't want to leave us exposed and then all of a sudden go, right, we've lost our best left back and we have no one there who can sort of play left back. Boswell and Francis have both done good jobs when they've had to do that. Hugill's here. Oh, hits the post. Unlucky, but it was offside anyway. But Macclesfield and Hugill are getting a really good connection with each other. They're Macclesfield, generally knows exactly where Hugill is going to be. every time that ball is played. I feel like recently in FM as well, the highlights have been so much longer because we're only 16 minutes in. I mean, I know there's been quite a few highlights. That's not a good ball to be conceding like that. We might have to drop to a little bit of a deeper line if we're going to get balls over the top like that coming at us. But oh, never mind. I was going to show you the league table, but we'll show you after this next highlight. Some games we watch, we see no highlights at all. Then others, we see highlights galore. Like this in the game that we had against Scarborough Athletic. I know we scored 4 in the first half, but it was absolutely ridiculous. 38 minutes played, and I felt like I was talking for ages. Hugill here. All right, maybe he's showing you a little bit of the old Hugill as well. But at least he scored 1, right? Before, he wasn't scoring at all, and then not having any chances, so it was just frustrating. Whereas now, at least he's getting the odd goal here and there. Bridge with a long ball over top. Macclesfield takes it nicely. I'm going to keep calling him Macclesfield now because I've called him that for ages. But it's Macclesfield. So don't ridicule me in the comments. I'm only joking. Boswell into Clark. Gromek. Macclesfield. Oh, Campbell. That's a weak ball by Tate Campbell there. Tate Campbell's actually gone from being one of the best midfielders that we still have to now being probably third choice. Because we've got Gromek. The other guy, if he's fit, Macclesfield. Tate Campbell actually doesn't necessarily get a sort of run out, but I do like him more of a solidly defensive midfielder. But Gromek does sort of fill that role as well. And I'll show you Victor Gromek's stats in a little bit more detail after the game. But James here on the wing cuts it back for Macclesfield and hits the crossbar. I think he might just have to be known as Macclesfield now. After 3 seasons of calling him that, it's just, he wouldn't even correct me, would he? He wouldn't even like, Gaffer, it's actually Macclesfield. He would just go with it. Oh, Herbie James with an absolute wayward pass. But Tate Campbell there, reading the danger and managing to get back. Wright's going on an adventure. I don't know if I was happy about that, but I'm glad he got it long. It just comes straight back at us, though. This is the problem. Keep the ball on the ground, please, boys. Boswell. Into Macclesfield. Clark. Ref. That's like 3 times that's happened now. Right, let's praise the boys. We need to consider taking Pinnington off. Then again, I don't know if I want to play Pinnington in an FA Cup game after what happened last time out. Maybe I just don't risk playing him in any of the FA Cup ties, right? After he arguably single-handedly cost us the 3rd round tie against QPR. Who knows? We could have gone on and won the FA Cup that season if it wasn't for him. You just never know. You just never know. Right, I think we're doing good, but I know we can definitely find another gear. I think what we're going to do is put Briggs out to right back, take Pinnington off and bring on Darnell Johnson. Other than that, yeah, let's bring on Tom Scott as well. Rest Tate Campbell for a bit. Victor Gromek has played pretty much every minute of every game since he's joined the club. I'll give you a quick sneak peek of his stats here, but we'll look into him in a little bit more detail in a moment. But he's a very solid player, especially for the roles that we want him to do. Because if we've got Macclesfield and if we've got that Murray Holmes, they're going to be more of the attacking threat. We want other midfielders to just sit there and defend and just be a nuisance. And that's what him and Tate Campbell do well. They're just there to clean up and mop up any balls. A little bit of a N'Golo Kante role, let's say. But for them players, for me in this squad, not to that ability, I mean, it will take a lot to get to that ability, but at least in that type of role. Claude Makalele. Right, let's get another one. I don't feel comfortable at 1-0. Long ball over the top, and that's why I don't feel comfortable. I thought that went in because we saw the sub come up. It made a change. Hugill there. Clark. Oh, goes prime for a corner. Are we going to see the corner? We are. Are we finally going to score from a corner? We are. Briggs scores. And don't forget, Briggs is the one who's got the 17 jumping reach. So he's absolutely leaped like a salmon. Rose out of the water. Oh, actually, hang on. Darnell Johnson played it back into Briggs. So Darnell Johnson and Briggs linking nicely. Well done, Darnell Johnson. Why does he not get the assist for that then? He was the one who headed it back across. Unless it come off the Macclesfield player first. Potentially, but We'll give that to Johnson. I think that was a good bit of play. Hugill's taken a knock. That's not what we want to see, considering we've got FA Cup weekend coming up. Let's get him off. Let's not risk any other injuries here. Oh, I hope he's not going to be out for the FA Cup. Hopefully it's just a 1 or 2 day injury. We can't afford to not really have him up front. We've got other players and we've got other options. We've got Mellor. Weston Doof is still here, so he might be able to do the job. I mean, we know how that panned out in the first season, even parts of the second season, but at least it's something that we can use. I suppose Clark here. Clark puts the ball across into that new centre midfielder that came in this year, Hayden Murray-Home. He obviously scores the goal with the head, wraps up the game, 3-0 at home against Macclesfield. We can't complain. In terms of the live league table, I will bring you back. This result actually means we go up to second, so 33 points in total. We are always chasing down a leader who has a big points gap. Whenever we're in contention, like in the first season, chasing down Macclesfield, who went unbeaten in about 20 games, if I remember. I mean, they're not unbeaten in 20 games now, are they? 19th spot. Look at us, we're second. But Torquay must be putting together some form of run, considering we've got a comfortable point gap at the top. And yeah, I know it's Torquay United, but still, it's every time we want to try and have a title challenge season. Then again, that was never on the cards this year. The board still just wanted us to avoid relegation and battle against relegation. Media still had us absolutely pinned at rock bottom. And we're just proving them all wrong every single time. Because that's what we do here at Oxford City. We're the ultimate underdogs. And the performance on the pitch do the talking enough for us. But there we go. 3-0 win against Macclesfield. A good win. Well done. That is good for me. Let's see if Hugill has got James Wright's injured. A stubbed finger after being struck by the ball against Macclesfield. Like, I mean, that's just generally your job, right? That's fine. So he'll be back. And Hugill, 1 to 3 days. Yeah, he should be back. He should be back in time. So we shouldn't have any concerns about that. Let me show you that new guy as I said I would. Victor Gromek. For the positions that we want him to play. So he's either typically going to play as a defensive midfielder, or he's just going to play as a central midfielder to just sort of interrupt and get in the way. So he's very well rounded. Determination's a bit poor, with that only being a 5. I mean, I don't know why I've clicked on that. It doesn't actually show you anything. But being a 5, not great. But he has a fairly professional personality, so at least he's not going to be sort of disruptive. But I think in terms of that, it just gives us a little bit more depth. We only had the 3 midfielders, and when we were playing, we are playing all of those 3 options in these formations. So we needed to have a little bit more depth outside of Tom Scott, because Tom Scott is only a defensive midfielder, where this guy can potentially, well, he can even potentially play in the cam role, but ideally we'll be playing in one of these 2 spots here. So here we are live for the Walsall game. Remember, this is a televised game, the first one that we have had of the save, so it's going to be a monstrous moment. With that means we need to make sure we play arguably our best 11. Okay, so we've got Wright in goal, Piddington, Skara, Johnson and Killer in defence, Campbell and Gromek in the holding midfield roles. We've changed the formation slightly and obviously dropped that back, as I said I will, against sort of the tougher or the bigger opposition. And we've dropped McEachran down to the bench, and we've brought in Murray-Home in midfield, James and Clark as the wingers, and then of course Hugill leading the attack, and the bench pretty much picks itself. Realistically, it's not a must win because, of course, we're not expected to pick up a result here. We are arguably dibbed the Giant Killers after what happened last season. I mean, this is new. We've never had an actual pre-match interview before. I'll just say we're in a good place. We know we can do it. I mean, we'll take a lot of confidence from that performance. I'm a bit out of my comfort zone. I'm not used to having questions before a match. We're used to having questions after the game, and that's a lot easier to reflect on. We're predicting what the future may hold, and we don't know. But like I said, it's a must-win in terms of club finances. And of course, we would love to go into the second and even potentially the 3rd round of the FA Cup again. It does wonders for the reputation of the club, does wonders for our reputation as a manager. It's only good, right? But I think the main thing that I would want to achieve from this is the finances. We need to try everything we can do on the pitch to improve the club's finances, to try and get the club out of that rut. The board aren't worried about the finances of the club. They're saying that they're in a stable place, which is fine, but it means that our budgets are affected by that because there is no extra money in the club to give me more money. Realistically, if we don't go up this season, I want more money because there's not really many players that I would want to get rid of from this squad. And if they don't give us any more money, we're not going to be able to add any more talent to it. And ideally, I want another winger. Killer Ferrari obviously may go in January, as we've said, but we've got a kind of replacement for him. So we want more money. And the only way we're going to get more money is by having a nice cup run. But of course, we need to beat Walsall today. Gromek there managing to get in the tackle, but then sprays that ball to absolutely no one. We need a little bit more composure when we win the ball here, boys. We need to do a little bit more with it. And luckily, Walsall at the moment haven't got their shooting boots on. Let's encourage the boys again. It's an absolutely disgusting formation, isn't it? Look at that. That's even more defensive. Hang on a minute. So in possession, they're playing that. Out of possession. Jesus. And we're meant to be the underdogs. I mean, teams fear us. A lot of teams play like that against us. And, you know, it's because we play such good attacking football. They try to obviously mitigate our attack, which arguably at the minute Walsall are actually doing. Because we've only had one shot and we've got an XG of 0.03. Let's change it to low crosses and hopefully get Hugill to be able to pounce onto the end of one. But remember, all we need is one chance. Their goalkeeper is injured. Let's overload the box. Let's take long shots. Let's do everything we can. Half time, 0-0. That game just flew past where the other ones didn't. Right, I'm proud of everyone's efforts. Keep going and we can win this. Go out there and make the difference. We'll keep an eye on Pennington. Do we make the change for Pennington now? I think we will, actually. We'll bring Briggs in. Briggs will help us with defending the corners as well. Like I said, he's got a jumping reach of 17. So he's going to help us defend corners at the same time as well. Highlight straight from kickoff. It'll probably end in a second. There we go. Like I was going to say, we've not actually seen any real highlights for us so far this afternoon. I don't really want it to play out to a draw. I'm pretty sure at this stage, in the first round, does it go straight to penalty? Oh, here we go. Oh. Right. We need to be getting some chances away. Let's go for a slightly more shorter... Work the ball into the box. We'll take shooting from distance off and let's go a little bit wider. Let's try and get that ball up that pitch a little bit more. I want us to have at least a couple of shots on target that we even get to see the highlights, let alone score any goals, right? But so far, 65 minutes played. I wouldn't say it's been all Walsall. I mean, it's quite tired. That was a risky tackle from Killer Ferrari, but he managed to pull it off. Such a weak ball there. We had the chance to hit on the counter and we're just passing it without even much conviction. It's just dribbling across the pitch. Come on. The cut back here. Oh, lovely block. Didn't quite see who that was. I think that was Briggs. Briggs proving why it was a good idea to bring him on. Killer Ferrari. Into Gromek and the highlight ends. Hugill's struggling and wants to be substituted. I mean, we ain't going to be doing that right now. Sorry, Hugill, you're going to have to just bear with it. I need you on the pitch. If you can score from this highlight, then I'll take you off. Killer Ferrari puts it across. Hugill, oh, so close as well. Got tipped by, it goes out for a corner. We're not going to see it. 77 minutes played. I feel like Walsall are a much harder opposition than what we played last season from Sky Bet League 2. James is having a poor game. Let's take James off. Let's bring on Damari Miller. Damari Mellor. I mean, we're probably going to have to take Hugo off, aren't we? The problem is, no, we're just going to leave him on. If it goes to extra time, then we'll take him off. Because the only player I've got on the bench is Westendorf. And I just don't think this is for him, this game. Not at the moment, not the way it's sitting. Maybe if we were cruising, then it would be a game that we would bring him on, but not when we are in need of a goal. 4 minutes of added time, 92 minutes played. Can we hold out for a draw? Or are we going to see us get the winner? Briggs. Never mind. Is it going to extra time or does it go straight to penalties? No, it's going to extra time. Okay, we're going to have to take... Well, I don't want to take him off, though. He's such a good striker for us. Bring Boswell on. Maybe we'll make... Oh, I'm going to change it. I think I'm going to do that. Because... Advanced playmaker. The reason why I'm going to do that is because I feel like we're not getting enough men forward. With the way that they're defending, we're just getting overrun in that part of the pitch. So maybe that making that change might help. But we're going to have to do some more rotation at some point. But I feel like give him maybe the first half of extra time. And then we need to be potentially looking out for penalties. Hopefully it doesn't need to go to penalties, though, because that's going to be absolutely heartbreaking if we go out on penalties. Because it's just a raffle. It's neither here nor there in terms of who's doing what. Johnson on the ball, back to right. Are we going to build from the back and score like we've seen so many times this season? Briggs with a surging run. Lovely ball in for Mellor. Ball across for Hugill. Come on, the goalkeeper's injured. Give him a bit of an elbow or something as he comes out to try and collect that ball, you know what I mean? Make it uncomfortable for him. Boswell into Ferreri. Long ball in. Oh, that was a nice deep cross. But Hugill just can't get there, unfortunately. The game where arguably we would want Hugill to turn up and be an absolute menace. He's not really done much. 6.1 rating is not ideal. And I think we are going to have to take him off now. So what we're going to do is we're going to take him off, put Westendorf there and do that. Put Boswell out on the right. Have Mellor playing up front. Now, some of you might be thinking, why are you taking off the best striker in your club if it's going to potentially go to penalties? But if he's absolutely exhausted, surely that was handball. If he's going to be absolutely exhausted, then he's not really going to be able to do that great on a penalty. So that's my thinking behind it. And there we go. And that's why I've done it. Mellor has got the difference. Time waste. Look at that. A deep cross. This is the deep crosses that I'm talking about that we want the right back and the left back to be doing. From this sort of area, swinging it in. And letting the players get onto the end of it. But 1-0 up. We are doing well. We just need to hold on now. Now, no silly mistakes. And I'm looking at the right back, even though it's not Pinnington. That position cost us before. Gromek. That was, again, a weak pass. What are we doing? Oh, a long ball over the top for them. Get rid of that. Yes, right. Come on. What a save. Proving, again, while he is one of our superstar signings from last season. Still proving it week in, week out. An absolute rock between the sticks. Let's make some more changes. Ferreri is knackered. Let's bring on a more natural centre-back. Go to full-back. Let's change him from that. Let's just drop him deep. To be fair, we'll probably take Gromek off. We've got any more subs that we can make? We have one other sub. But let's bring on... Oh, no, we took... Did we take him off? Hang on. It says we've got another sub. Obviously, we haven't. Oh, no, we used 2 subs. That's fine. Focus now. Focus. Oh, never mind. It's the end of the game. Come on. That's it. We've beat another Sky Bet League 2 team in the FA Cup. And that puts us in to the second round. And let's just find out who we've got. Lovely. We received... Oh, hang on. Let me do this and then I'll give you the extra bits afterwards. So we received 42k for winning that round. We are still £246,000 in debt, which again isn't ideal. We are over the wage budget, as you can see, but like I said, I've been sort of negotiating some changes in contracts, and one of those is with Pinnington. He was on £975 a week, managed to get that down to £900 per week, and managed to drop his appearance fee slightly as well. So the good news is it brings him, so he's going to be in the club for longer. He's obviously one of the best players in the club, best right back, but also it means that it's a little bit less heavy on the wage budget. So good news, I guess, and bad news for the draw. We've been drawn against a League One opposition this time round. We've got Wigan in the FA Cup, but we are at home again. Would have preferred an away tie, if I'm honest, because that way we would have got a little bit more of a share of the gate receipts. It's still a winnable game. It is stepping up to the one league above in Sky Bet League One, but they're not performing, you know, they're not running away with the league, right? They're sort of mid-table. So it's a winnable game. It would have been better if we just got another League Two team, got through to the third round of the FA Cup, right? Like last season. But we will take it. But that's everything for today's episode. I hope you've enjoyed. But don't forget to hit that like button if you haven't done so already. Subscribe if you are new around here to continue watching the journey and, of course, to see how far we can go in the FA Cup again this season. And I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.